Hey guys, I'm going to show you a sandwich effect that I've been playing around with. This one has a little bit of a mental vibe to it. And then after I perform it, I'm going to show you how I do it, okay? So we'll start with a little shuffle in the hands, and then you're going to have your spectators now cut the packet. So they can give the cards a cut, hand it to everybody that's around the table. If you would, go ahead and give them a cut. So everyone's just going to jump in and start giving the cards a cut. They can cut wherever they would like, okay? You're now going to give the dice to another spectator and say, I want you to go ahead and roll the dice, and whatever number you roll, that's where we're going to place the jokers into the pack. We're going to cut at that number, okay? So they're going to go ahead and roll the dice. Here it's a 5 and a 6 is 11, plus 2 is 13. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards, exactly the number that they rolled, and we're going to cut the cards at 13. The jokers are going to go into the pack right at the number that they rolled, okay? Now, we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to lose those jokers in just a little bit deeper into the pack, and we're going to give them one in the hands bridge shuffle, okay? So we're going to give it one shuffle just to complete this mess, all right? All right, there we go. Now, we've got the jokers in the pack at the number that you rolled. We now need a card selected, okay? So, in order to do that, if I ask you to name a card and you were to say the Queen of Hearts or the Ace of Spades, that's kind of obvious because everybody picks those cards. So let's make it completely random, okay? So I want you to just use your imagination here, okay? Just go ahead and play along. Here we go. I want you to imagine that I reach over and take out half the cards. Which half did I take out, the reds or the blacks? It's up to you. Let's say they say the blacks. Okay, great. So we're going to divide those up into clubs and into spades, okay? Now, I want you to think of those in your head. Clubs, spades, clubs, spades. And I want you to just keep jumping back and forth between the two. And then when I snap my fingers and say stop, I want you to stop, okay? Go ahead and go, just in your head, not out loud. They're going to go back and forth. Clubs, spades, clubs, spades, clubs, spades. Stop. Now, if you were to jump forward one more, which one would you land on? And they say the spades. Great, okay? Spades it is. You did all that in your head. I couldn't have known where you were going to stop or what you're going to jump forward to, all right? Now, we've got a lot of spades. We've got ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to king. We need to eliminate some. So, what do you want to eliminate first? The even numbers or the odd numbers? And they say, just cutting the pack, that's an 11. Let's say they say the odd numbers. Fine, we're going to eliminate the odd numbers. So we got the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 9. We won't count the ace because it's a letter. We won't count the jack, queen, king. Those are letters. We'll just go 3, 5, 7, and 9. I'm going to mix those up. I'm going to turn 2 of those face down. Which 2 did I turn face down? And they say the 3 and the 9. Great. So now the only 2 cards left face up are the 5 and the 7. I'm going to mix those up. I'm going to hand you one. Which one did I hand to you? The 5 of spades. Do you want to switch or do you want to stay? You want to stay? That's fine. So now, using just your imagination, by chance and by choice, you've created a random playing card. It's the 5 of spades. Okay, you rolled any number. We shuffled the jokers into the deck at the position that you rolled. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Imagine, if you will, I take that 5 of spades. I'm going to take it and push it into the deck. Now, somewhere in that deck are those jokers. Okay, we shuffled them into different parts of the pack. Imagine that those jokers start to close in on your imaginary card until they come together and they trap it. One card and one card only. Let's take a look. Look, the jokers have now trapped a playing card. What was the card that we created? The 5 of spades. And would you believe it? There it is, the 5 of spades trapped by the jokers, okay? That's the card trick. It's a sandwich effect with a little bit of a mental vibe to it. I might call this alone because there's just a single card trapped between the jokers, all right? And if you want to learn how that works, stick around because here comes the tutorial, all right? So here we go. We start the trick off. We are in our memorized stack, okay? So you're going to be in your memorized deck stack. Now, what they're going to do, this is not in the mem stack because I just Pharaoh shuffled it, but we're just going to pretend. The spectators are going to give the cards a cut. They can cut as much as they would like, wherever they want, okay? Just straight cuts. They can do this triple cut, which as we know as magicians, that's just the same thing as a straight cut. Okay, so just have them give them some random cuts. Now, they can roll the dice. Now, you need to peek the bottom card, and you can choose when to do that. Okay, you can do it whenever you want. I choose not to do it right away. So now they're going to roll the dice. They pick a random number. So this is 9. All right, so we're now going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, and we're going to cut the deck at that position that they rolled. We're going to place the jokers in. Now, it's at this point, before you drop these down, you need to know what this card is on the bottom, because it's going to tell you which card to force. All right, so you could just do an all-around square up and get a peek like that. You could do a false cut, and as you drop the cards on top, if you want to do it that way. You could maybe do some kind of a glimpse like like that, where you just buckle the card and get a kind of peek, like a bubble peek, I guess you would call it, a bubble peek. Just glimpse it, however you want. Whatever card you see on the bottom of the deck, you're going to add 26 to that. Okay, so in my performance, when I peeked the card, I saw the card at position 20. So I add 26 to 20, I get 46. So now I know the card that I want to force is the 46th card in my stack, which happens to be the 5 of spades. Okay? Because what you're going to do with this placement procedure is you need to know the card that's in the 26th position, because that's the one that the jokers are going to catch when you give it a perfect in Pharaoh. Okay? The perfect in Pharaoh is going to trap the card that's at 26. So we're peeking it, we add 26 to it. Now, if the number goes over 52, so like let's say I looked and I saw the 40th card in my stack, and I add 26 to it, well, that gets me to 66. So now I take 52 off of 66, that's 14. So now I would force the 14th card in my stack. That's the one that the jokers will catch, okay? So now, once they put the jokers in, you could continue to cut the deck, okay? Rigged straight cuts would work, but I don't. So you're now going to get cut exactly at 26 and 26. You're going to give a perfect in Pharaoh, not an out Pharaoh, but an in. That's where the top card goes in to the second position. In out Pharaoh, it goes out into the first position. In Pharaoh, it's going into the deck, down into the second position. That's how I remember it. So the in Pharaoh is going to put one card in between the two jokers, and the card that's going to be in between them is the card that was in the 26th position. Okay, and then you equivocate to it using your favorite form of equivocate. That's it. That's the trick. I call that a loan. I think that's pretty good. So I hope somebody tries it, plays around with it, and maybe it'll help encourage you to use a mem stack if you're not currently using one. I use the Redford stack. I started with Mnemonica, used it for 2 years, but Redford was just better. Checks more boxes for me and what I'm looking for, so I use Redford. So there you have it, guys. Till next time, take care.